The invisible things are clearly seen through things which are made. And at this time, while we're fighting against invisible enemy, war, this virus, and we're also coming up on, it's Passover, Good Friday, Easter, Resurrection. It's a beautiful time to really engage in the understanding of invisible and visible. The invisible is primary. It's as real as you can get, and it comes first. And think of the greatest love story ever told. Thursday, invisible Thursday equals Good Friday. You have an invisible spirit, and before we loved him, he first loved us. And you have this invisible spirit who made himself available in something concrete, in human form, in a human body, and made himself relatable and able to be touched. Think of the story of the invisible man. If I'm invisible and you can't see me unless I put the shirt on, a scarf, then I'm made visible. And two things. One, we can slow down to really appreciate and value that great love story this time of year, but also to understand what is going on in our everyday life right now. The world is fighting an invisible war that we can't see. And, unless you're up close and personal with it, you may not feel the intensity of it. Or you might feel the intensity of it in different shapes and forms, like scheduling, homeschooling, income, how it affects you. But it's a great example to understand how the invisible things that go on in life affect what we see in a concrete form, what we see in a revealed form. So this is a great time, like I said last week, right in the commas. It's in those commas that we can, those transitional phrases and words that we can really create and update and renew a value system that moves us forward in our own stories. When the green light's back on, if you will. Those yellow lights, those red lights, those commas, those pause, those quiet times are so important. And, I just want to encourage us as we, maybe evaluate and meditate and appreciate this great love story this time of year. But yet we're also dealing in this pandemic. It's a great opportunity to just really slowly uncover invisible things in our mind, in our heart, in our lives, in our leadership, and how we conduct our lives, and how we're building legacy in our families, and those groups or circles that we have influence in. And and it's a chance not to be so judgmental out there too. It's a chance to leave some judgment at the door. We don't always know the stories that we're reading. There's backdrops. There's people have stories. And unless we're going to take the time to sit down and have coffee with some people and really understand those backdrops, maybe we could judge a little bit less. You know what I'm saying? And so this is a great time just to kind of slow down and to realize that we may not see but 1% of someone's life. And when we can evaluate, take our eyes off of other people and just really evaluate ourselves, how's my mind processing? How are my emotions sorting through things? How am I reacting and dealing? What are the things that I'm doing proactive? And we can just kind of quiet down with ourselves. That's what affects us in a physical, revealed sense of lifestyle and concrete living day to day. And as we're slowing down, there's some people working 20 hours a day right now to help us as a society and community at large. But, and there's a lot of us that's dealing with different schedules, uncertainty of income, and kids homeschooling and all that, right? Missed events that are hard for people. Think of seniors in high school, etc. But when we can use this time to also kind of slow down and to bring it full circle and full center, the value of family, the value of ourselves, the pace in which we carry ourselves, the value system in which we operate. It's a powerful time for us all to kind of really dig down deep and search out the invisible things, right? And, as we then move forward, we can have a more positive manner or a more authentic manner in which we review our day-to-day lifestyle and physically live it out. So I just want to encourage you, again, keep writing those commas, and be okay with that slowness, and let's give more focus on the invisible, things that we can't maybe fully articulate, things that we can't maybe fully put a diagnosis on, and allow ourselves to venture into those thought patterns and the invisible things within our own spirit, to see, how we can live it out, live our lives out in a more peaceable, consistent matter that brings that type of fulfillment. So just in closing, let's appreciate that greatest love story, but also realize that this is a great time in life just to realize there are, there's an invisible world, that there's things that we don't always see, but it's very, very real. And, when we understand that and evaluate that, that's what helps us carry measures out in physical day-to-day forms. So MLS believes in you. Keep rolling, keep writing those commas. We got it.